Hey guys, this is Matt with Comax Gaming and welcome to part 2 of the KeyValues. So we left up right here getting the Steam ID of the player, and now what we're gonna say is get the Steam ID. Once we got it, we wanna search for the Steam ID in all this, because we're not gonna have only one. We're gonna have like a bunch of this, and they're gonna be different, right? This is not gonna be the same as this one. So we wanna say, okay, which one is for this player? So we're gonna say, okay, get the Steam ID where it matches this one with the player, and if it does match it, then we're gonna get the info, and if it doesn't, we're gonna create it. So we wanna say if keyv for KeyValues jump to key. I'm gonna explain that in a second. I'm gonna do the arguments right now. So the handle is gonna be the KeyValues, dv for us, comma, the const is gonna be sid, I'll explain why in a second, and bool create. Read these. It says if true and the key does not exist, it's gonna be created. So yeah, we want to create if it doesn't exist. Keyv jump to key is gonna say, okay, we're here in the base, and I want to jump to the key that is right here. I want to jump to that key, which is gonna be the Steam ID. So it's gonna jump to any of these, and if it matches any of these, right? And if it doesn't match it, it's gonna create it, because we set this to true. Where is it? Here, it should true. Now we're gonna search for the Steam ID of the client. That's why I wrote sid here, since we're getting the Steam ID and we're putting it into this variable that we created. So keyv jump to key. Okay. Now what we want to do is actually we want to set the name. So keyv set string. Whoops, actually no. New string name. No caps. 32. I don't know. You can do max. What was it? Max name length. Yeah, max name length for the maximum amount of length for the name. It's defined in SourceMod as well. So yeah. And here we want to see get client name. Name will client, comma name, comma size off. I didn't mess up. Great. Whatever, messed up there. So now that we've got the name, we want to we're gonna get the old name. So we're gonna do keyv get string keyv database const key. It says name of the key or an all string. So the key we want to look for, which is the key. No idea. Say it. Come on. Yes. One type. We're gonna look for the name. Ugh. Why? Because we are already in a key. So we don't want to say, okay, look for Steam ID, then look for the key. We are already here. We are in here. We're not in here. So we're gonna get the name be in this, comma, the string to save it to, which is gonna be, I'm gonna call it temp name, comma, size of, I didn't create it yet, temp name, comma, and a default value. So if the key is not actually found, we're gonna create a default value, which is gonna be null. I like calling it null. You can actually leave it blank. It's gonna be nothing. If you don't type it, it's gonna be nothing. It's gonna be white, blank. But I like null, so yeah. Okay, now temp name, blah 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 blah. Okay, so we wanna say if string equals. The string one is gonna be temp name, comma, the name of the client. What am I saying? Null. There we go. So if this string that we got right here equals null, so we're saying if we couldn't get the string at all, since if this is the default value, if this is not found, then the player has never connected before. He's a new player. So when I print to chat all, the player name is new to the server. The name is gonna be name. And then we want to say, we always want to say the name. Actually, I'm gonna create the string first. Temp name. I'm gonna give it 32. I'm not gonna type this again. Actually, I'm gonna copy and paste it. So now, so now we want to set string. Key is gonna be the value. Key values. The string is gonna be name once again, and the value to store is gonna be name, and we're good with this. So what I'm saying here is, okay, defining variables, getting the client name, the name that the client has right now. We're gonna get that. We get that, and we're gonna save it into name. Now we want to get the name of the client. I don't know, the last time he connected. If it exists. If it doesn't, it's gonna be null. So what we're saying here is, if it's null, then the client is new to the server. Print to chat all. Else, we want to say print to chat all. Name last connected as, and want to do temp name. So we're saying, okay, the new name, the client, the name of the client right now, last connected as the name before this actual connection, so the last time he connected. And here we're gonna set the string, we're gonna set it to the new name, right? I hope this isn't that confusing, because it is confusing, I know. Okay, so we set the name. Now we want to set the connection count. So key get, let's see if we get num. Yeah, great. Handle database comma string is gonna be connections, and the default value is gonna be 0. So I'm good with that one. Actually, we're gonna set it to -1, not 0. No, actually, yeah, 0. So blank 0, since it's defined in SourceMod API as the default value. Okay, so we're gonna get the num, and actually we're not gonna do this here. We're gonna do it before. Yeah, we wanna get key get num connections. Okay, so actually new connections equals that. So I'm creating a new variable called connections. It's gonna be an integer, and we're gonna get the number right from the database. And if we don't get the connections, since the player is new to the server, then it's gonna be 0. So if the name equals null and connections equal 0, then we're gonna say this. Else, we're gonna say last connected as dot and has %d for integer connections. So we're gonna say and has x, the value of this connections, and we put connections here, and then we want to say connections plus plus, and then keys set num database. The key is gonna be connections comma connection. Derp. Okay, so what we're saying here is I'm gonna do a review of this. I hope I get enough time. What I'm saying here is, okay, when the client connects, we want to define the key values. We want to make the file, get the key values if we have them. Then we're gonna get the Steam ID of the client, and then we're gonna jump to that key. We're gonna jump to the Steam ID of the client. We don't care if it's found or not. If it's not found, we're gonna create it, and if it's found, great, let's keep moving. We define name and temp name as string. Then we get the client name, the actual name right now, and we save it to the variable name. Then we do kv get string, kv get string, and we want to get the name right here, the name that we saved, and we want to save it in temp name. Now if we're not able to find this one since the player never had connected before, then it's gonna assign it to null. Then we're gonna do new connections equals kv get num. Actually, I'm gonna type 0 here so it don't confuse you. dv comma connections comma 0. So I'm gonna get connections, the connections, and if we're not able to find connections, we're gonna set this to 0 right here. So here we're gonna check if the string equals temp name to null, so if the player never connected before, and connections equals 0, then we want to print to chat all that the name of the client is new to the server. Else, meaning that this is not null and this is greater than 0, we're going to say the name, the current name last connected as the old name and has a number of connections. So kv set num connections plus plus to save it and increment the value, and then we want to set the new name in the database. Finally, when we're done with this, we want to rewind this, kv rewind db. What kv rewind does is it says, okay, we're here, we are in here. When we do kv rewind, it's gonna jump back to the base, waiting to jump again to somewhere else. We want to say key values to file dv. The file is gonna be this one, kb path. So we want to save the key values that we modified here, that they are temporary. We want to make them permanent, moving them to a file. And now we want to close the handle of the key values, which is dv. I hope this wasn't confusing. I honestly wanted to do this. I really wanted to. So I'm gonna try it out here. I'm gonna go in game. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna see how it works. Okay, guys, I'm in game, and as you can see here, this is the first time that I joined with the new plugin, and it says here, my name is new to the server. Now, if I actually wait a minute. Oh, I can see my mouse. Great. I'm loving the new source engine. Great, Gavin. You're doing an excellent job. Keep doing it. Okay, here. Ugh. Okay. Can I see this? No, I can't. Oh, there we go. I'm gonna open the file. As you can see, we have a new folder called tutorial, and here we have the file that we created. And look, it says my Steam ID, player info, the main. So the base is player info, and then we get the key with my Steam ID, and then we get the connections, and then we get the name. So it says I'm new to the server here, right? So what if I find my cursor first? Fucking engine. Wait a minute. Okay. So now if I were to reconnect, let's hope this works. It says reloaded. Reloaded last connected as reloaded. So my name, yeah, and has 0 connections. Oh, my bad. So now if we connect now, we're gonna have 1 0. Okay, so how to fix this? Instead of writing connections plus plus here, just type right here. After you display this, type connections plus plus, and then type connections here. Connections. Now it's gonna increment it. So yeah. Okay, guys, I hope you liked the video. Just rate it up if you did. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.